My name is Kurt Sonnenfeld. I was the official videographer for the United States government at Ground Zero of the World Trade Center following the attacks on September 11, 2001. Since then, I was falsely accused of crimes that did not occur, chased across 2 continents, tortured, imprisoned twice, and harassed relentlessly by the United States government. This is my story.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Oh my goodness! Oh God!
Very large plane that might have been a DC-9 or 747 just flew past my window.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression that it was that big a plane.
It looks good from here. Matt, I've never seen anything. It looks like a movie. I saw a large plane, like a jet, going immediately headed directly into the World Trade Center. It just flew into it.
It should be on purpose. Oh my goodness! Now it's obvious. I think this has to be deliberate, folks.
And right now, yes, that was definitely looked like it was on purpose.
God! Oh my God, look at that explosion!
I cannot believe my eyes, and I'm still in shock as to what I witnessed just moments ago.
Where do you get your knowledge from? How much time do you have?
This is the other tower, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you hear the explosion?
Oh, yes. Let's look at these live pictures.
Building has collapsed.
People running up the street. Okay. What's going on?
Esas son mis cosas de Ground Zero, mi uniforme, las nenas, pinto. Bueno, eso es mi casco con firmas de rescatistas y algunas estrellas de cine. Hay Bebe Neuwirth, tengo James Gandolfino. Y esto, FEMA disaster team. FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. It's the agency that when there's a catastrophe, a national disaster, or a terrorist attack, as what happened on September 11th, they are the agency in charge of all of the other agencies that respond to the catastrophe. I became the director of broadcast operations for FEMA. I worked for example, the Department of Defense, Department of Energy. I helped train the FBI, the Army, because of all of the different confidential locations that I was involved in doing simulations and training. When they closed the perimeter of Ground Zero to all media, I was the one that they called. The reason that they called me was to provide about 20 minutes of pool video to the world media each day, and also to videotape for the investigation. They knew they could trust me, and they knew that I would do a good job. While I was on Ground Zero, I was constantly stopped and asked, "What are you doing with the camera here?" There were signs placed about every 5 meters saying all cameras and video equipment are prohibited. Anyone caught will be prosecuted and their equipment will be confiscated. The reason is that they said was that it was a scene of a crime scene, and so therefore they did not want the media within this crime scene tampering and messing up the evidence. But one of the first things that they began to do was take away the evidence, and in fact destroy the evidence themselves. For my work at Ground Zero, I used a digital camera which uses tapes this size, and in fact here are all 29 hours of my Ground Zero footage, or 29 tapes, some 20 hours of Ground Zero footage. So, you can see that 29 tapes fit in a box about as big as 2 beta tapes, right? I was instructed not to show any corpses or parts of bodies. I was instructed also not to show any personal effects of anybody. For example, if I saw a photograph on the ground or a sweater, something like that, I was not supposed to show it. Here is a never before seen image of one of the bodies discovered at Ground Zero. This is one of the images that I could not release to the media. I did not want to, at that point, give my footage to some bureaucrat and hope that they did the right thing with it. They were my responsibility, and to me they were a historical document, and so therefore I brought them with me.
Conocí a Kurt en el año 2005, si mal no recuerdo, en Informe Central. En aquel momento Kurt acababa de salir de la cárcel y a mí me llega la noticia de que había un camarógrafo de las Torres Gemelas que estaba preso.
2 men came into the cell. One of them put me in a choke hold, as they call it, to the point where I could not breathe, and the other one began kicking me in the stomach and in the testicles, and it was to the point where it felt as though my head was going to explode and I was losing consciousness yet again. That the one who was kicking me put then a red chemical substance in my nose, and at that time the other one let go of the chokehold and I breathed in this chemical, and it began to burn all inside of my nasal passages and in my throat. I was transported to another jail outside of the city in a remote part of Denver, and I was put into solitary confinement.
Lo persiguen, lo quieren acusar del crimen de la mujer, estiran los plazos procesales, en una mezcla de esto que te digo, de burocracia y paranoia.
My wife's fingerprints only were on the gun, mine were not. That she had gunpowder on her hand, none on mine. That she had left a note, that she had left out a book of suicidal writings that she had written, that all of her friends who testified that she had been threatening suicide. So immediately thereafter, she informed my lawyer that the charge against me would be dismissed, that I was free. Okay, this is when the strange things began. My lawyer said, "You should be out tomorrow, just a matter of papers." I waited for 4 more months. For 4 months I was still in prison. I finally was released, and I went back to my house, is when the things started happening. We had people parked in front of my house, so I went to my next door neighbor. I said, "Somebody is in my house." So together he and I went into the house and we looked around. Obvious that someone had been there but was now gone. And he said, "There's too many weird things happening with the people parked in front of your house, with the breaking in and things like that. You have to go. You have to go tonight," because he was thinking that I was going to be killed.
No good reason why he should have been subjected to all of this abuse, and it's a very messy story, but so far as I can see.
One day, my friend said to me, "We have a surprise." We talked to his uncles in Argentina, and they say that you're welcome to go and stay in their apartments for a month, 2 months, free of charge if you like. And so at that point I said, "Yeah, okay, what do I have to lose, you know, and I'll go and look at the sun and think if I want to continue living, you know." I came here as a free man, no legal, no legal problems over me. I used my passport. I bought things with my credit card. I stayed in a hotel under my name. I was certainly not a fugitive.
A lot of people have a lot of speculation about Kurt. There's a huge story behind him about his wife, about drug use, about, you know, being exiled to Argentina. So there's a lot of dirt out there.
About 20 agents of Interpol came with an unrestricted order for my arrest. And as well as with them, they had a paper from the United States Embassy asking that all of my documents, possessions, all of my videotapes be confiscated and immediately remitted back to the United States. I was then put in prison here in Devoto for 7 months. The excuse that they used for my extradition was that they somehow forgot all of the evidence that proved that my previous wife committed suicide. Daniel Rafekis rejected the extradition, saying that there were some dark shadows in this case and that there was the potential of the death penalty upon my return to the United States.
La Corte decidió hace muy poquito suspender el proceso de extradición hasta tanto no esté firme el refugio o el asilo político.
When we spoke to Gladys Cabeza, the sister of Jose Cabeza, she said, what you have to do is take it to the media. You have to hide in the light, you know, because if you are unknown, if you're anonymous, they can do whatever they want to you. If you're known, of course, if something happens to you, then everyone will know why. We know that our emails and our telephone calls are monitored. We know that our mail has been opened.
Los seguimientos, los llamados telefónicos, las amenazas, mensajes de texto, gente siguiéndonos, fotografiándonos.
They didn't stop, and in fact, what they've done is change tactics. Now their tactics are a lot more subtle and a lot more vicious. The government realized that I had gone out from their orbit of control. Okay, I had been in all of these secret and confidential installations prior to World Trade Center. I was at World Trade Center. I was in possession of many videotapes, documents that they wanted, that they did not know what I had. All of the hours of videotape that I had from Ground Zero, they did not see. They do not know what I had on the tapes.
O quien persiguen y nunca le pueden decir por qué. Se intuye que hay algo que él hizo que puede ser problemático para la seguridad de un estado paranoico, pero nunca le terminan de decir por qué.
I risked my life for years for the United States government. I feel that Argentina is now my country.
Estamos hablando del testimonio de un hombre que puede, digamos, cambiar la historia respecto de lo que sucedió el 11 de septiembre.